Next on the Love You More Show.
I believe as a man, you should be choosing a woman that's good for your peace, your legacy, and your portfolio. I was coaching women. I told them, do not engage with a man that has no purpose because he's going to drive you to hell trying to figure it out.
He's going to drive you to hell.
Try to figure it out. Because if you are a woman that is on her stuff, he's going to start resenting you because he hasn't done the work to figure out what he needs to be doing. So it becomes, why you always doing something? Why you always got something going on? Why you have to go to school again? It's like he doesn't have his own purpose. Tell me what you want. Don't tell me what you didn't get in your last relationships. They can tell me what those things are. Well, to be honest with you, the things that you didn't get will tell you what you need.
One would ask, why would an April Mason be single when she has all of this information? Don't you believe the pinnacle of the game would be seeing the person who knows all represent a relationship that she's coached people through?
I totally agree. However, I have been married. I have had kids. Because, the Kevin Samuel said that. And I told him, Kevin, I'm no different than you. I just only been married once.
How many was Kevin married?
I believe he was married twice.
Yeah, I think he was too.
And he had his kids.
Shout out to the good news.
And so I'm like, so I was married and I had kids. So I've given my contribution to society already. So what's the difference? I think we wouldn't have so many problems if we chose from a place of knowing what we need versus our trauma.
Hey family, Willie Moore Jr. here, another edition of the Love You More Show. This show is designed and catered to people who have been through hurts, habits, hang-ups, breakups, and their journey to loving themselves more. Here's the thing, today I get the esteemed privilege to hang out with a lady who's literally been making ripples across the country. So many people have been inspired by her message. Of course, you've probably seen her all online. Of course, she's a speaker. She's a TEDx speaker. Don't play with her. She done been on that stage too. And she speaks about femininity in a way that's actually digestible, not only to women, but also to men. I get the esteemed privilege to call her my sister from another mister, the one and only April Mason is in the house. What's going on, love?
Hey, dear, how are you?
Girl, you looking just like yourself, too.
That's a good thing.
Listen, when you put that red lip on,
you know the red lip.
That's like dun 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 dun. That's like your superwoman cake.
Yes.
Indeed. How you feeling, baby?
I am feeling wonderful. I took some little time off to do me, but I'm here. I'm feeling good.
That's good.
No complaints.
So you've been cheering from the mountaintops. They often say that you're not supposed to ask a lady how old she is, but because you on social media letting everybody know that I'm 50 and fine, how does it feel to be 50?
You know what? It's a rebirth. I have no problem saying that I'm 50. And I believe a lot of times we had an issue in the past because women were discriminated against when they said their age. You're not supposed to do this. Or if you say you're 50, you're no longer attractive. Or, they put you in these categories. But we are not the 40s, 50s, and 60s of yesteryear, honey.
I promise
we are completely different. I don't know if it was the vaccines they gave us back in the day, but Gen Xers, I think we out here, as they would say, killing the game. So I have no problem saying my age and that I'm a grandmother. So
how many grandkids you have?
I have
Children.
I have 4 grandkids. My kids are 31, 29, and 27.
What do they call you?
Grammy.
Grammy. Got it. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to being grandpa. Like, everybody changed their name and all that. Like, my son's not 22, and he's a fully functional male who probably can have kids if he wants to.
Okay.
So if he does, I'm not picking no nicknames. I'm Papa to you. Come on. I don't mind that. But April, here on the show, we like to do this thing that we call an icebreaker. Traditionally, when an icebreaker comes, it's usually somebody give a funny joke or not so funny joke. And then it takes about 3 or 4 seconds, and then it's like, oh, now here we do music, right?
Okay.
And this particular song, you're actually a part of the visual. It's called Clockwork. Let's take a look. Check this out.
So wifey started counseling, and she thought it would be a good idea for me to come to counseling.
Man, don't nobody really want to do this.
Because I know she'd been telling this woman all my business. I walk into counseling.
Dang!
I didn't know her counsel was this fine. She been telling all my business. I walk in. Hey, ladies. Oh, I was at the wrong spot, and I thank you for joining us. Truly my honor. Willie Moore. Nice to meet you. My honor. This is my counselor, April. So nice to meet her. Wifey like, so glad you can make it, darling. It's truly my honor. You look amazing. You do too.
Energy in the room a little tense. Wife done told my business.
So let's talk this out.
In front of her? Damn.
I'm like, okay. You ready? I am. Whatever you want me to do, I'm with it. Are you gonna tell the truth? I promise I'm gonna tell the truth. You worth it. Her eyes lit up like a Christmas tree when I told her she was worth it, child.
Time waits for no man. But if I could turn back the hands of time, I would do you better. I just want you to know the love I have for you is like the clockwork. It never stops. This is lag out.
Now I am not a mind reader, but I can tell you're lonely, overlooked. But what's funny is I put a ring on your finger. We both said I do, but we both know the truth. That lately we've been feeling single, cause we don't take the time to love each other right. Preachers say we need communication. Tonight let's speak some love language. Oh, first off, since we said I do, in the sight of God we can do what we do. Second off, we don't need no phone. We don't waste time too long. So let me love you like clockwork. Tick-tock, tick-tock, like clockwork. Tick-tock, tick-tock, steady going like clockwork. Tick-tock, tick-tock, like clockwork. Tick-tock, until the end of time.
It's okay. Even if you're in church, it's something you can do with the hip roll. You can go download that song, Clockwork, or just go stream it wherever you get your music. Shout out to everybody who's already doing that. The remix has Q Parker on it, thanks to the Love You More show. He said it, I stalked him, and it's done. Huh? Let's get that out the way. So, April, you know you did so well in the video, but honestly, the storyline is about a couple who is going through a whole lot. And I know that earlier in your life, there was a version of you that decided to connect with the man, and you said, I do, in the incubator stages of you healing. What have you learned since being married and becoming this version and what April needs now?
First of all, when I got married, I was not taught what to actually look for. I was taught if he loved God, he'll love you. I wasn't taught about chemistry, compatibility, lifestyle. Like, I'm big on lifestyle, and I think a lot of people they don't take that into consideration of what type of lifestyle do you want to have, and can this person give you that, and can you guys be on the same page with that? So growing up for me, we were just taught as long as he loved God, he go to church, you know, he's going to be a good man.
So you grew up in church?
Oh yes, I heard.
Oh
yes, I came from a background where all of my aunts and uncles, they're all pastors, preachers, apostles. Like, I know the things, all, the whole church thing. So I grew up in that. But they failed us because they did not teach us about true relationships and what it takes to have a relationship. They spiritualized everything. But when you come out the clouds of being all spiritual and carrying on, do we want to live in the same place? I often say, you never hear me talking negatively about my ex-husband because I chose him based on the identity that I had at the time. And all he did was be exactly what he was supposed to be. Now, as you start to grow, you start to learn, wait a minute, that's not really who I am. Like, he wanted to live on 90 acres of land. I'm like, well, I'm from San Francisco Bay Area. We ain't living on no land. I don't want no cows. That's not my thing. And so he wanted 6 kids. I'm like, you done lost your mind. So these are conversations that were not had, but as long as he loved God and he went to church, he was a good man. You can be a good person, but not good together. And I think people don't understand that just because you may go through a divorce, it means that, oh my God, you're doomed. No. I think I was in my 20s. I was in my late 20s when I got married. He should have got a half of a hello, and I should have kept on walking. Because the woman that I was becoming, I started becoming her in the marriage. And for me, I wasn't the type to say, just because I'm becoming, I'm going to just, leave you. He had opportunities to become. He just didn't want to, and that was okay. He was not on the same trajectory that I was on, and that was okay. And so for me, I've learned that it's okay if people do not stay together. It's okay if people choose to live a life that's benefiting to them. And that's another thing that I wasn't taught, to choose a man that's a benefit to you. Because you all typically choose women that are a benefit to you in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
Well, she have benefits. That always helps too. Come on, benefits.
And we're just not taught. We're not taught that. We are taught to choose off of feelings. and how you make us feel in the moment. That's one of the things that I've learned as I've matured. If there is no benefit to the man, meaning not necessarily I'm looking at all on paper, but who the woman is and what benefits does she need? Meaning, I'm a woman that I can be a brat sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
I
and
could not imagine you being a brat.
I can say, if you say no, I can say, is it a hard no or is it a soft no? And is there anything I could do to get a yes?
Yes, ma'am. All the fellas in the comments, don't you put what she can do to get a yes in the comments. The Lord is here. Okay, let's get that out the way. Wow, what a great conversation. Listen, I don't want to interrupt, but I do have a call to action for you. I need you to subscribe to this channel. We want to make sure that the world hears these healing conversations. Can you subscribe right now? Thank you. Back to the show. April, I want to just kind of digress a little bit because, I'm blessed to, I would say somewhat to be a friend of yours. And so I know, growing up, it just has not always been this beautiful story. Like you overcame a lot, whether it be rape or violence or what have you. Like what gave you the heart to trust again after going through all of that and even saying I do to a man after so many crazy things that happened to you at such an early age?
Well, Willie, if we all honest, we still want love and companionship no matter what we go through.
Mm.
And when you understand the core of the fact that it took a man and a woman for us to be created, what makes us think we don't need companionship, two people.
Mm.
And I believe as women, once we go through those things, we try to kind of reconstruct our hearts and our natural makeup to say, you know what, I'll just rather be by myself. And we don't really want to, but we try to make ourselves believe the lie. Instead of saying, who was I during the time that I chose this individual? And I believe a lot of times we as women, and y'all know, I love men, I love y'all, but we give y'all way more credit for knowing stuff that we think you should know that you don't know.
We damn sure don't know about romance. You should be able to plan a beautiful date.
Yes.
I was like, that movie that you watched? It was a writer's room in there that wrote that part out.
Yes.
He didn't actually do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my best friend, Dr. Bobby Price, he said, hey, bro, I got a list of all of the dates that you've gone on. And he said, I'm not a date dude. I'm a provider dude. This is what I do. But he said, I have a list in my phone of all of the dope stuff that you do even by yourself so that I can make them dates. So I feel like women, we carry the romance. We are the ones that I would say influence you all to do the things that we want you to do. And so I believe we a lot of times put more on you that you were not prepared with. Like, y'all don't come here with empathy. You don't come here with romance. You don't come here just with a high level of emotional intelligence. Y'all learn those things through women. But women are looking to be taught by you. Well, hell, how? They don't, unless they had a mama, a sister, and typically by the time you get what they call a man that know these things, he's dated women who taught him those things, so now he can give them to you.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to be the person to teach those things. So when I was in makeup, I was talking to your makeup artist about one of my male clients. He's very well paid, the high value, all that, he has those things. But guess what? He had never been to a 5-star restaurant before. He had never been to a concert before.
Yeah.
Not because he didn't have the money, but because he worked all the time.
Yes.
And so I took him out. That's you?
Raise his hand.
That's you one of those types.
I can go anywhere in the world. I can go to any concert that I want to go to. But I grew up with a daddy who went to work 16 hours a day. So the example I saw was, what does a man do? He goes to work.
Yep.
All right, what does he do after that? Like vacation. Like I took like 5 vacations in 1 year one time, and I felt like such a loser. I was like, why are we vacationing so much? Oh, you just, you're dating someone who likes the vacation. I'm like sneaking, getting on the computer, trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
And I think you're absolutely right about that.
Yeah, and so this guy, he didn't know how to do any of those things. So I curated our time together because I coached him, but then I always add an activity. So I took him to an Alex Isley concert. I said, all right, here's the deal. We're going to play like we brother and sister so the girls don't be wondering who I am. And I said, I want you to go out there. I want to see how you engage with women. But because he worked so much, he didn't really know how to engage, but he was over a 6-figure man. So after that, I took him to his first fine dining experience. I took him to Perry Steakhouse. That was his first time going. He's like, so where do I put my napkin? Because he saw me put my napkin on my lap. He didn't know what to do. But a lot of women would not have dated him. Girl, why didn't he know how to use what fork to use? Because he works. He doesn't have a problem spending money to do those things. He didn't have a reason to.
Yeah, and you're going to have to come up with something. Like, I'll be honest with any woman that I'm dating. I'm like, now listen, you ain't going to have to worry about all that stuff you worrying about, but you are going to have to be a good travel agent and a great date planner.
Yep.
Because I'm good at what I'm good at. Don't get me wrong, I'm learning now. As you said, as you begin to date people and go through, different experiences, and you're like, oh, that's really cool. Oh, that's really cool. And you start to pick up your Rolodex. My question to you now, when it comes to all of this jargon with the new age of the April Masons of the world, the Sarah Fontenot's, the Cheyenne Bryants, just all of these women who now, they kind of stand on the shoulders of what I call you as a giant with all of these different terms of you got to be high functioning, you got to be high value. What does that mean to April watching these new terms come out when they may not be clearly defined the way you would define them?
It means absolutely nothing. Because what I found is those aren't conversations that are really being had in real life. People have gotten away from what I call relational intelligence. So everybody has a term for all of these things. And to be honest with you, it's just relational intelligence. Do you know how to connect with someone? We know how to be around people, but do you know how to be with somebody? And I believe a lot of what I've heard and what I'm seeing is coming from, like, for instance, I listen to the conversations that are being had. Like, you'll never hear me talking negatively about men and what men do because I like men. So why would I reinforce my old experiences based on the old version of me? Why would I do that? So I'm very clear on the things that I consume. You asking me to do this interview, most people know I don't. I don't do interviews. But it's because the conversation is based on the old version. And my actual title is Identity Transformation Architect. At the end of the day, no matter what you're talking about, it's based on the identity that you're currently having. So when you see all of these shows and these podcasts talking about toxic men and toxic women asking these lame, I can't cuss, but lame questions.
Ass is okay.
Lame ass questions.
Okay.
It's like, how is it that the breakup happened 3 years ago? In that 3 years, you got your credit right, you bought a car, you went and got a whole nother degree, but you still live in the same identity of somebody that hurt you. You didn't learn anything. When you lose a job, you take that, what you've learned, and you update your resume, and you go get another one. So you mean to tell me, as a man or a woman, that you've elevated in other areas of your life, but you still having these lame-ass conversations about the narcissist you dealt with? You can't sell me on that. You're not really doing the inner work. This is why I got out of the business. Because you have so many people who want to tell you how great they are and how academically sound and how much many businesses and millions they've made. But when I start talking to you about, well, you know what? Love is a beautiful thing. We all need it. Well, these men, have you not grown in those years? So you can't sell me on that. So none of that stuff, that jargon means anything to me.
Indeed. So what's the one misconception wives have about their husband? Just something that they may not know.
I would say the most misconception is they don't realize that their husbands are pretty much the little boys, the wounded little boys that they were when they were children, but yet they just became adults. And what I've seen, I said it, and the internet tried to drag me for it, but I said, if you heal the little boy within him, the man that you want will show up. And they thought I meant taking abuse and see, you always got us doing stuff. The woman always, that's not what I mean. I mean, I'm talking to the woman who's connected to her femininity, her spirituality, sensuality, and wisdom. When I say spirituality, I am not talking about church. I'm talking about the woman that's connected to herself. So you're able to see exactly what this man is missing. One of my, I guess, God-given gifts and why I work so much with men is within a conversation, I can spot his insecurity in his little boy just like that. And it's like, okay. So with me dating now, like I'm finally outside, for real.
Date? Okay, we'll get to that in a
I'm
minute.
finally
Go ahead.
outside.
Sorry.
One of the things that I do when I vet a man, I don't vet a man the same way most women do. I go in and looking at, let me see his wounded little boy first and see if I have the capacity to be the container. I don't go in looking for in the other stuff.
Yeah.
What?
No, I like that.
You like that?
I like what you did. Like, can I
Yeah.
can I handle that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who, not what I can do, but who I naturally am.
Mm-hmm.
Can I actually be a container for this? Can I be a source of a healing place? And a lot of women want men that are healed. Well, hell, we ain't healed. You will never know.
Say it then.
What-
Come on,
you-
finally, God.
We not.
What she said? What we were just talking about?
We
I just
not.
telling them. Oh, go ahead. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Willie, we not. And you will never know that you're healed until you actually engage. So you got the conferences, the books. I don't care if it's my books, your books, my conferences, my courses.
Right.
You won't know if you've mastered it until you actually connect. That's why when I was working with women, they'd be like, Miss April, I read all your books and I did this and I did that. I said, okay,
So
who you talking to? Who you dating? Nobody. I'm waiting on God. I'm like, girl, get out my face. It's men all
What
over
they
the
say,
place.
everybody,
I'm waiting on
waiting on
God. I'm like, girl, it's men everywhere. Where these men at? I'm like, y'all act like there's a location that houses good men. I'm like, men are outside. Just go outside. Oh, I don't go outside. Well, then don't talk to me because there's nothing that I can do for you. So it's like we consume so much information because there's so much information out there, but not applying it.
Yeah.
So-
So to those people who just watched on the premiere, April Mason, in my rightful opinion, relationship guru, has been doing this for years. Like, she is the start. She is the Diane Carroll of this whole. Like, I just see her as the first, in my opinion. So make sure that you show some love in the comments. April, I gotta ask you this. Now that you're 50 and you look back, what would 50-year-old April tell 35-year-old April?
None of it matters. Do what you want. And it's all a lie. Everything that we've been taught about who we are and what we are to be as women, I don't think people realize it was all given to us by men. When you really look at how we are taught to be as women, from the Bible, from government, and everything in between, it was given to us from the pen or from the mouth of a man.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're actually dealing with them, everything that they say they don't deal with or what the rules are, they don't apply when you're in their face. So none
does
of
that
it
mean?
matters.
What does
It
it
means you can get a man to do whatever you want him to do, regardless of what he said. I don't deal with women with kids. Okay, so you just married one with 3.
Yeah.
I don't deal with women who are a certain skin tone or a certain height, but you with somebody like none of that stuff that y'all say, none of that matters for me. Now,
Yeah.
it's because I know you beyond what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, a woman, she didn't hit the wall if she's 35. I can't keep the 28s to 38s away from me.
Yeah, I mean,
So none of that
you're an
matters.
anomaly, Miss April.
No,
I mean, excuse me. I retract my statement. No miss for April. Anything under 70 is little mama for me. I just left the Tom Joyner cruise. Go ahead.
But I just think that women get so caught up in trying to fit something that was all a lie in the first place. So now me, like, I do what I want to do, how I want to do it, and I don't make any apologies for it. Because when you start getting older, more mature, you're like, wait a minute, why did I even care about that?
Yeah,
And I just have they say the older you get, the more I don't care you have.
facts.
And I'm at that stage where it's like, okay. You know, you don't argue with people. It's like, oh, okay.
That's cool.
That's how you feel? Oh, okay.
So, April, so what you're saying is there were certain rules that don't necessarily apply at this level of the game because it's like that doesn't matter. You spoke about men.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and you know, because you coach me and maybe you can coach me through it, I've been challenging men to really take a deep dive in their purpose because you have this laundry list of things that you won't do. You have this laundry list of things that you will do. You have this laundry list of what she has to look like and all of that. But I think what I'm learning now is I've made it into my 40s. I'm looking at what I actually need from a woman, and then I move into my wants.
Yes.
So, of course, I don't want you to have 3, 4, 5 kids, but if you are a great nurturer and you're able to do, you know, I have 3 smaller children and a grown man. Like, if you can help me here, I'm not the best administrative guy. If you can help me with scheduling, I'm not the best go have fun guy. But if you can say, babe, I noticed you've been working nonstop for the last 3 months. Like, I think I've changed that part. How do men get the heart posture to change that part? Like, what does healing that little boy look like to be able to change the desires that a man may want at this age?
Child, when they talk about this kids, I don't want to be the stepdaddy. Joseph was a stepdaddy.
Show hell was. He sure was a
Joseph was a
stepdaddy.
stepdaddy. But the thing is, I believe it's knowing what you need. This is very important. And I think most people don't know what, like you said, they know what they don't want, but they've never dove into what they actually want.
Yeah.
And I believe as a man, you should be choosing a woman that's good for your peace, your legacy, and your portfolio. And not just the look. Now, you got to be attractive to her, but beauty and attraction to me are two different things.
Say, excuse me, tell me a little, do say more.
So beauty is you can walk down the street and see beautiful women. We in Atlanta. But attraction.
About that.
You don't see beautiful women in Atlanta?
I said you sure right about that.
Oh, I thought you said I don't know about that. I'm like, don't do
I
that.
said you right about that.
Okay.
It's Atlanta.
All right, it's Atlanta. But attraction. Have you ever seen a woman who she might be something that you typically would not engage with, but she has this aura about her. She had this allure about her. And you just like, I can't stop thinking about her. But aesthetically, she would not be considered society's definition of beautiful. See, but there's something that attracts you to her. That's the difference. So I think a lot of men need to learn the difference between beauty and attraction. And also looking at, as a man, what is my purpose? When I was coaching women, I told them, do not engage with a man that has no purpose because he's going to drive you to hell trying to figure it out.
It's going to drive you to hell.
Trying to figure it out. Because if you are a woman that is on her stuff, he's going to start resenting you because he hasn't done the work to figure out what he needs to be doing. So it becomes, why you always doing something? Why you always got something going on? Why you have to go to school again? It's like he doesn't have his own purpose. And purpose doesn't necessarily mean a college degree. It just means, who am I and what was I placed on this earth to do? And the easiest way to find that is look at what you do naturally. You know, it's one of the easiest things, in my opinion, to figure out, but we've made things so complicated. And the revelation should be made simple. You should simplify the revelation. And so I believe that if men found women who were good for, like I said, their peace, legacy, and portfolio, but you can't find her until you have a purpose to know what legacy you want to leave, then choose the woman that's good for that. And I believe women should do the same. And I think we wouldn't have so many problems if we chose from a place of knowing what we need versus our trauma. Well, I'm choosing a person. If you look at when I have them write, I put it like this, when you have them write something on a list, tell me what you want. Don't tell me what you didn't get in your last relationships. They can tell me what those things are. Well, to be honest with you, the things that you didn't get will tell you what you need. Because you start digging at your core. Like for me, loyalty is up there like oxygen for me.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Like it's loyalty and kindness.
Yeah.
If you get a kind man, you don't have to ask for all of the other things. You get a loyal man, you don't have to ask for all of the long list. It shortens your list. So for me, my list is only like, I think it's only like four things on my list because I know what encompasses those things. You know, lifestyle, he got to match my lifestyle. He has to be kind. There's a lot of different things that come in there with kindness.
Everybody, all the dudes on the back, like, okay, 1, 2, whatever.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing.
I got 2 out of 4.
That's kindness, but then a lot of dudes, they get kindness and nice mixed up. I despise nice men.
You know, it's so amazing that you said that. My dad, 94, he told me, he was like, 94, he's starting to kind of calm down. But he told me that 89, 90. He said, you know what, son? I said, what's up? He said, man, you know what? The difference between me and you know what I'm saying? I'm a good man. I'm just not no nice guy.
I don't like.
See, you nice guy.
Yeah.
See, nice guy, he gonna put up with some shit I just ain't gonna put up with. You understand me? See, the thing is, the Bible say, blessed are the peacemakers, not the peacekeepers. Nice guys just want to keep peace. Peacemakers will go to war to get the peace.
But here's another thing about nice guys. Nice guys are only nice until they don't get what they want.
That's true.
Kind-hearted people are just kind-hearted, even if they don't get what they want. So when a man tells me, but I'm a nice guy, I run the other way because I understand what that means. And that, for me, kindness, it encompasses so many different other areas of life that you have to have a kind heart to even have empathy. You know, you can't just be a nice person. Because look at the people that you may have worked with in life, corporate America. Oh, they so nice, until it's time not to be nice, until their head is on the chopping block. That niceness goes completely out the door. So anytime I hear a man say he nice, child, be like, okay.
What if he's just like, he doesn't know the terminology and he's just like,
no,
can your spirit say?
No, No,
But
no.
here's the thing.
I'm
I
just-
don't
I'm
think
just
I've ever
joking. I'm
called
just joking.
myself a nice guy. Like, who says that? But hey, I'm a nice guy.
The nice guy that doesn't get what he wants.
It's like, I press
he's
a
the
button.
one. Yeah, it's him. I believe we have more nice men than we have kind men.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is look at the violence against women. When you look at the violence against women, kind people don't do that.
Yeah.
Right? So I believe a lot of people, and there's nice women too, and you got to watch out for them. But I'm very big on a kind-hearted man. He just moves differently. And to me, with that much, especially if he's a mature man, he just moves completely differently than those that don't have that. That's just my thing. So
April, you know what men need. You know what men want. You have coached men and women throughout the years.
yeah.
One would ask, why would an April Mason be single when she has all of this information? Don't you believe the pinnacle of the game would be seeing the person who knows all represent a relationship that she's coached people through?
I totally agree. However, I have been married. I have had kids. Because, the Kevin Samuel said that. And I told him, I said, Kevin, I'm no different than you. I just only been married once.
How many was Kevin married?
I believe he was married twice.
Yeah, I think he was too.
And he had his kids.
Shout out to the good news.
And so I'm like, so I was married and I had kids. So I've given my contribution to society already. So what's the difference?
Yeah.
He's like, you're a modern woman. I'm like, but I've done the things that I did them early in my 20s. And here's the thing for me. I wasn't pressed to be in a relationship. What people don't know, a lot of them don't know, is I had my first child at 18, 5 days before I turned 19. So I became an empty nester in my 40s. My very, very first apartment was with a child, and I got married. I've done those things. And so because I put it like this, a lot of us buy houses from realtors and the realtors don't own homes. Does that mean that they don't know what they're talking about? It does not. So for me, I was not pressed to be in a relationship just because I understand human connection. I've been studying human connection since I was in the 10th grade. So being fascinated with how people connect, if anybody actually pick up a book to really dive into it, they can know what I know. I just been given a different level of, I believe, understanding and how to make it come together. But I wasn't pressed to be in a relationship, and there's never been a lack of options. But actually, I will say, I'm glad I didn't.
Why are you so glad that you didn't?
Because I became an empty nester in my 40s. There's some things I wanted to do as a single woman for my legacy, which was buy a house cash, which I did that a couple years ago. Being married to someone, buying a house cash for your children and grandchildren, that ain't gonna fly too well. There might be some that may, but for me at the time, I'm like, no, my grandmother made the mistake and sold all of the land and the property that my grandfather left. So we didn't have a house, like grandma's house. Well, I bought a house. That's the house that I bought in Ohio.
Yeah.
And
okay.
that's the house.
Yeah.
So now, for instance, us not having a family house, one of my family members recently had a situation and he didn't have a place to be. I pay cash for the house. You don't have to worry about nothing. Go there, get your life together. I got this big old house. I'm hardly ever there. So that was something that I needed to do for myself. After that, I did it. I said, okay, I did this piece. I have now, it's almost like I restored with my grandmother, the mistake that she made, because now my house is that house.
Curse breaker. Let's go.
Yes. And so from there, I was going through perimenopause. Now, I'm going to say that we're going to talk about this. We're going to have to talk about this. We're going to have to talk about this.
It's pause, wait. It just made a turn.
Yes. I'm going to connect it all for you. So going through perimenopause as a woman, that's the stage before you get to menopause. It's when your estrogen, testosterone, and progesterone decline.
Okay.
And I'm going to start talking about this more because I know there's so many women that want relationships, but one day we do and the next day we don't. One day we love you, the next day we don't. It's because our hormones are fluctuating. This is why I tell married women at this stage in the game is when most women file for divorce. And I'm saying, let's get your hormones under control first and then see if you really need to divorce. Because you're going up and down, up and down, up and down. And then what I don't want you to do is not realize what's going on in the relationship could be fixed between you and him, because your hormones are out of whack.
I got a question. What age do that start? Because some of these ladies crazy as hell about 38. Is that when it starts?
It can start. Mine started early. Mine
okay.
started, and I didn't realize it. And it's like, it's something that I wouldn't wish on nobody. Because imagine being this vibrant woman, you're doing your thing, you're living your life, everything, you're excited about life, and then one day you can't get out of the bed. Like, so for me, when my book Identity Switch came out, I was at the height of everything. Only thing I did that year was a TED Talk because I couldn't do anything else, and nobody knew. So I was going through the perimenopause to where I only had enough energy to get up in the morning, take a shower, wash my face, brush my teeth, put my clothes on, and get back in the bed. So anytime anybody saw me like in a red carpet gown or doing an event, understand it took me knowing about the event and ahead of time to be ready for it.
Wow.
And then when I would come home, I'm taking everything off and it's like, I can't do anything. And it would take me like doing something like this back then, I would have to have like another 5 days to recoup because I would have given so much because I didn't have any reserves. So what I've done in my younger years, I pushed past my stress triggers. So I kept going and going, and my body finally said, sit down. If you won't do it, I'm gonna do it for you. So from 2022, at the height of everything, that's when I did the Boss Up Conference with Rick Ross and everybody, the TEDx talk, everything. I couldn't do anymore. So I kind of was like, how can I maneuver? And I just didn't have the strength to do it. So imagine trying to date somebody, and I had several suitors during the time. Imagine trying to date somebody and I want to see you for 2 days, but I'm okay with not seeing you for 3 weeks. That doesn't fly. So I really, for all of the women that are watching, please go get your hormones checked before you just decide to say, you know what, I would rather be by myself, but then here come Christmas. Oh my God, nobody's taking me home to meet their mama.
Yeah.
Because that's what we go through. And I believe a lot of women, if they understood what their body is going through at this stage, that we can make better decisions. So for me, I just did the thing. I went to get on some hormone replacement therapy, child. So I got my testosterone up. I got everything is balancing. So now I'm able to do things like this, do podcast interviews, do television interviews. I declined so much. And someone would say, oh my God, you could have just pushed through it. I'm like, that's what got me here.
Pushing through
it. The burnout.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. So now I can date properly and be okay with seeing you for multiple days at a time.
Because you was two on, 3 off.
Yeah, no, 2 on, 5 off.
5 off. So April, here go the thing. I just got to ask you this.
Yes.
So with all of these different hormones that women have to endure,
yes,
how do men get the bad rap of not necessarily understanding what's going on when y'all don't know what's going on?
And you're absolutely correct. And for all of the men that are watching, I'm sorry.
Damn, a woman done said I'm sorry.
I'm
Praise
sorry.
the Lord.
I'm sorry because
we don't hear that often though. Like, you know, I like to make jokes because this is entertainment.
Yeah.
But we don't hear that often. And there are so many men with so many question marks like,
yeah,
bro, like we was just cool and she just flipped on me. And so then it goes down, you start to go down this rabbit hole. And I make no excuse for cheating. I make no excuse for seeing other people while you're in a relationship. But there's no longer a connection there.
Yeah.
But the truth is, I think with this conversation, I think men can kind of view it and they can jump back into their masculinity as a hero to say, man, this is just something that she has to go through. Because many of us had no idea. And on the contrary, as a man moving into the 40s, I had to look at my testosterone. Why am I feeling this way? And, you know, I had to go in, you know, I'm blessed to have some really great doctors to say, hey, we're going to pull this up. We're going to do this, and this to function. Because a lot of men, they go through that same sluggishness. And, you know, the truth is in the 40s and 50s, you know, God forbid, and I speak against it, but that's when a lot of men choose to end it all.
Yes. And so I would say to that, a lot of us didn't know. So our mothers and grandmothers didn't teach us about perimenopause. They taught us about, oh, you're gonna go through the change, but they didn't have the terminology to be able to break that down. It's only been like the last 10 years that we've been talking about perimenopause, and even Halle Berry has this petition going that women, especially in California, could start being covered. This HRT, it's not covered typically by your insurance. So you guys can get the little blue pill for your insurance for when y'all have a little issues, natural issues in
You
the
can?
PP area. But we can't just go to the doctor and do the same. So a lot of what women were being prescribed when we were going through the stages in the past was antidepressants for depression.
And
That's what
that's counterproductive.
Exactly. So, it's only been over I would say the last 10 years that we've been seeing a heavy conversation about perimenopause. And so I would suggest for the men to get educated on it as well. I just happen to be able to take the time to try to figure me out because I'm like, am I crazy? Because one day I can stay up for 48 hours one day. It's like I'm just straight up, I'm energized. And then it's like I'm dragging out of bed. So when I start getting blood work done, my testosterone came back undetectable. So I didn't have none. Like
So
zero,
libido and
zilch.
everything just
It was just crazy, but I had a lot of estrogen to where my doctor, she said, your estrogen is like you're 28 years old, but you have no progesterone and no testosterone whatsoever, which the testosterone gives you that ability to have a little bit more drive to get up and go. I had none of that. So for me, I had to literally learn how to find what works for me. So now I don't have no problem saying, yep, I put my little testosterone cream on. I got the little estrogen patch, and I take a progesterone pill at night. So I believe that learning those things about yourself, even in when you're in the love department, it'll help you out because you won't be fluctuating. And I want love, and then I don't. And then next thing you know, you binge watching stuff that's about your past and toxic people that talk to your pain because your hormones are out of whack. But then you go to bed crying, I wish I had some muscles and some biceps and some triceps. But then the next day, you get on your phone. It's like, yep, you got to watch out for these men because, they're older men. They looking for hospice wives. Except, yep, see, that's what I'm talking about.
What is
That's
on
what
your
I'm talking about.
algorithm?
Yeah.
Looking for hospice wives.
Yes.
April, so I gotta
Yes.
ask you this.
Yes.
I'm like the kid right now that's like, I know we ain't got as much time as I want, but I'm like, ooh.
Yes.
So you're single,
Yes.
and you had the opportunity to go through this discovery,
Yes.
and you're like, wow, like some things were out of whack. What do you say to a man that has a wife that's in the house that's going through this who may be unaware of perimenopause? How does he best serve a woman in a house where one day she's on, one day she's off? Like there's some parameters. She's a lion ready to scratch and crawl one moment, and then she's just a little lamb the other. Like how could a man, if you were married during that time, serve you during that time?
I would have needed him to be real gentle with me, but I needed him to ask the questions. The things that he would have seen in me, I wouldn't want him to just say the hell with it and just walk away. It would be like, babe, one day is this, one day is that. And I'm a pretty self-reflective woman. And if I'm choosing a man, I'm not going to choose a man that's just talking on the side of his neck. So I would expect him to be of a higher level of intelligence.
Because he's kind.
Because he's kind.
Yeah.
But I would also respect what he has to say because I chose him based on, the things that are important to me, which is intelligence. So as long as he presented and be like, what, babe, you've been different. And then I would even be okay because I did. Him say, babe, you've been sexy, but you put on a few pounds. And then you put on a couple pounds, but your attitude, one day is this, one day you like me, one day you don't. And I like you a lot. And I just want to figure this out. I would be okay with that. I would be okay with him saying, you know what, maybe you might be going through something. We need to figure this out. And then we go to the doctor together and we figure out, because if you go to the proper doctor, how old are you? Oh, you 42? Okay, let me see what's going on here because you might be going through, the onset of perimenopause because you go through perimenopause typically 10 years before you even hit menopause.
Yeah.
So I would be okay with that. And then he go walk with me. Come on, honey, let's go walk so we can be sexy together.
Yeah.
I would be okay with that. But it's even men being aware that if you're dealing with a woman that's in her 40s, sometimes I think I started going through it at maybe like you said, 38, because that's when I started noticing different changes. And then noticing those changes, and if, God forbid, the woman had a hysterectomy like I did, you don't have the parts anymore. So what the gauge is no longer there. The gauge would have been if a woman didn't have a cycle for 12 months. Well, after your hysterectomy, you don't have a cycle anyway. So you don't know what's going on. So having a man that knows just a little, he ain't got to know everything, just a taint.
Hey, can I just tell you this?
Yes.
Man, we don't know what the hell going on. But on the other side of this camera right now, we like, Bruh, I get it.
Yeah, fellas, get it.
But
Just a little
here's
bit.
the thing. I appreciate you educating the audience of men and women, because a lot of times what I'm noticing is what you're talking about with the men that I speak to and coach. This is what they're going through, and I could never speak to that because I did not know.
Yeah.
Like I always tell people, like literally, once your brain is stretched, it can never go back to its original form.
Yes.
And so now that I know that, I'm looking back because I have these strong borders, these strong boundaries. There's certain things you will not say to me,
Yes.
and I I know how to not say, wait a minute, I'm not codependent no more. Go on about your business. I'm
Yes.
you remember where you had me up at?
Yeah.
That's where I left you at. Where you leave me? Right where you had me
Yeah.
up at? Right
Absolutely,
there?
right
Yeah.
there.
Like right there. That's where I left
Yeah.
you. But now I'm going back to where they had me up at, and I'm like, maybe that's what that was, because it made no sense.
Yeah, that's
like one day,
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it like, this is the craziest movie I'd have never seen in my life.
Yeah, we, like I said, I'm sorry.
Hold on 1 second. Bruh, where the fellas at? I can't see y'all. Do y'all feel that? Goodness. And so another thing, like men are wanting to be intimate with their woman. So during that time, you guys don't want to lay your body down?
Now.
Or is that a high sex time or a low sex time?
Well, let me just say this, and since we gonna keep it a little PG.
13 is fine.
Who?
PG-13 is fine.
Okay.
Right at root.
I'll say this. So, I would never want to be a man.
Okay.
So I'll give you my little backstory on my testosterone journey. So I went and got testosterone. Once they told me I did not have any testosterone, couldn't even detect it, I went and got what they call the testosterone pellet, where they cut you open like right here, and they put it in.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, they didn't put the pellet in, so I'm thinking this is gonna be good, I'm gonna get the energy. If you don't have the proper dosage, it can make you want to have sex 8 to 12 times a day, to where you have to have a dude that can handle you if the dosage is not right.
Okay.
And so I always tell women to make sure they go to somebody that understands how to level that out. Because
are you sure that just wasn't in you already? Go ahead. Finish. Go ahead.
Yeah. But it takes you to, and you be having dreams about stuff that you don't be really in your regular life. You don't have them kind of dreams. So, fellas, if your woman go get testosterone, you're gonna have to go get some too, because you're gonna have to catch up.
Yeah, I mean,
you're gonna have to catch up. Or we're gonna be looking at you like you crazy, and then it becomes, well, damn, girl, I gotta go to work. Okay, well, when you get back, it can,
So, but without it, if you don't get the testosterone, so I'm speaking specifically to couples who may be unaware that this is actually going on.
Yeah.
She just like, now I just don't like you after 2-3 days. I just don't like nothing about you, and she doesn't know. Does she have this attraction still, or just
well, see, the thing is, it all depends on the woman. So if you were a woman who was sexually engaged anyway, it's going to lower that, but it doesn't take away the desire. The desire just ain't where it used to be. Yeah. And then we might do it just to please you.
And that's okay.
It is, but I'm gonna tell you what my doctor told me. And this is to all my celibate ladies. I'm not telling you not to be celibate. Please understand that. But I have a male doctor and a female doctor, and they've made it very clear that a woman going through perimenopause should be having sex at least once to twice a week.
And that's okay.
Because it helps with the symptoms. And so when I was going through my symptoms so bad, my married friends who are older than me, they wasn't going through the symptoms. I'm like, well, wait a minute, what? Why y'all not going through this and that? They was like, we don't go through that because they're having sex regularly. So I believe that.
So that intimacy helps.
Yes, it helps with whatever it helped with, it do. And this is what my doctor told me. And then I confirmed that with two of my girlfriends that are married. And it was like, girl, I ain't going through what you going through. I'm like, girl, I can't get out the bed, and it's this and it's that. And they was like, me and my husband be doing all kind of, like, they weren't having those issues. Now, they were having some, but it wasn't at the level that I was having it. And so my doctors, they made it clear. So when I got on the testosterone, the next time I was supposed to go back, I said, Doc, look, we can't do this because I ain't got no man. Well, I ain't got no man I want to be sleeping with. I got some men's, but none that I want to be sleeping with, because dating and sex is not the same thing to me.
Yeah.
And so from there,
dating and sex is not the same to me.
No.
So can you just date and then have sex, or they a package?
No, it's meaning if I'm vetting, I'm vetting. Vetting doesn't
So
equal
vetting
sex.
doesn't equal sex. Got it.
Not to me, it doesn't. It's
Understood.
like you can go out and you can have a good time and you can date multiple people, but that doesn't mean you have to have sex.
Yeah.
And because vetting process, in my opinion, doesn't equal sex. So that's just an April-ism.
It's got-
I don't need no
I was
script.
on
I don't need no scriptures in the
No, I'm
comment
just saying,
section.
I was at the time Jordan Cruise. They didn't get the April'ism or the Bible.
I bet they didn't.
Oh, I'm telling you, anything under 70 is little mama to me.
Listen, you
I'm
know
like,
what?
don't put your 401k in jeopardy messing with old Willie Moore. I'm telling you, because
That's how we feel about pensions,
I
honey.
am fully functional on all levels of the game without
Listen,
any of that extra stuff.
That's how I feel about the. Oh, listen, do you want your pension taken?
Oh,
Do you want to share your pension and your retirement? Like,
Mr. James, will
yeah,
give it to you.
Mr. James will give it to you.
Hey, listen, if you gonna, hey,
Yes, he will.
leave it alone. Okay, so I had a real question, but I think I just lost it. But I do have to ask you this. Thank you. Number one, thank you for sharing. Because I know, a lot of times, these small idiosyncrasies that people don't like to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And even men, now ED is thrown around a whole lot, and people, you have medicine and all that. But when I was on the cruise, this lady, she told me, she said, yeah, these old men, they can get the medicine, but hell, then their hips don't work. I need some man that got that their hips can work. And I was like, why is she touching me? My hips work, but not for you.
Listen, so the thing is, women, we do go through our things, but men are not top notch like that either.
Yeah.
So yes, you have the little blue pill, but you still might be bitter.
That's true.
You still might, be living under a rock. You don't want to go do nothing. So you might be able to get the D from him, but then it's like, do I want to be around you?
Yeah.
And I gotta say this one though.
Yeah.
The way that younger men apply pressure needs to be studied.
Yeah.
Because the younger ones, it's equivalent to what I said about it's only been like 10 years since really we've been talking about perimenopause. And it's like over the last 10 years, it's become okay for men to talk about their emotions and be a little bit more emotional and intelligent. So it appears, because I've gone out with younger and I've gone.
How younger is younger?
I can't do too young. I went out with somebody. He was so sweet. He was sweet. And
He's a nice guy.
he was a kind
Was he a
man.
kind man?
He was definitely a kind
See, I'm
man.
learning.
He was a kind man.
Okay.
But my girlfriend, her husband is 9 years younger than her. She's like, April, you should go younger. I'm like, girl, my son is 29, child. My son is 29. And there's a posture, in my opinion, that a younger man may have. So when he's out, when he was on TV doing his thing, he's him. He's like that dude.
Yeah.
But when he gets comfortable, his posture became like my 29-year-old son, my 27-year-old son. It became like,
Oh,
like slouchy.
he's like, get your...
It became
Be a
that.
man. Stick your chest out.
It became that. And so I could see the youth in him, but he was a kind guy. But he was a little, I said, baby, you too young.
She called him baby.
I said,
baby, you too young.
And then dating younger, they typically want kids. I don't want to see a kid. I don't.
You don't want to see a kid.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go to PTA.
No
I don't want.
stepmomming for you.
Huh?
No stepmomming for you.
It's not. It's
They
mentor.
have to be older.
Mentor. It all depends. It all depends on the benefits he bring. Like you said earlier.
Got it.
It all depends.
Because there's some stuff you be like, you know
You-
what?
It all depends.
Yeah.
And perfect example of that, my daughter was married and she got divorced and got remarried. And my current son-in-law, I love him. He wasn't looking for a woman that had 3 kids from her previous marriage. But because of what my daughter is to him, he made that concession. And just like she made a concession because he had 2 younger kids. So I won't say that they have to be grown kids. I would say it depends on the benefit that he adds to my life. It's like, you know what? They got a mama. Do they live with you or do they live with their mama? They live with their mama most of the time? Okay. He has to be a benefit. When I say a benefit, it has to be something that's on my core needs list. It can't just be a want. It has to be he is the embodiment of who he is feels a need. His presence feels a particular need.
So we heard younger. Would you go white or another?
Okay, so what happened was,
Because I know you moved way out there, Ohio. And you didn't move to like Cleveland. That was the thing. Like if you went to Cleveland, I was like, yeah, somebody used to play in the league. But you went to like rural Ohio.
yes, and the white men out there, they love
Why
like.
ain't you got you one of them?
Okay, so here's the thing. I like all men. And this is just an Aprilism. This is an Aprilism.
This about to go viral. I can feel it.
You
This
know.
feel like the moment. Get the cameras ready. Go.
So for me, I believe, because I'm a big believer in Black love.
Yeah.
I believe that when you have children and you're at that stage where you want to build a family, Black love all day.
Mhm.
When you're in a position like I'm in, I've had Black love, I've had the marriage, I've had the children, you can do whatever the heck you want to do. That's just a me. It may not sound right, but that's a me thing. However, there's just something about a Black man that I think gets me a little bit better. Now, white men, they do approach differently than Black men do.
Do expound.
So you know the type of men that I'm around.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I'm doing this for entertainment purposes.
Yes. So you know what you know the caliber, right?
Yeah.
What I find with white men versus Black, white men don't care about the April Mason that they saw on the internet. Like they don't even they more are looking to learn the little girl within. That's cute that you do that. That's wonderful. But I want to know you. Whereas a lot of times with the Black men, and you know, I'm not a what's the word I'm looking for? Emasculating kind.
No, not at all.
I don't even.
With all of this strong you have, I've never seen you.
Yeah, I'm not, because I don't lead with those things. Most people, unless they know what I do, they don't know what I do. And with Black men will look from across the room all damn day.
Won't say nothing.
Won't say nothing. And I went to one of my friends, I don't know if you know Jack Daniels, not the liquor.
I used to know Jack Daniels in college.
But
I knew him better than I should have.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine of almost 20 years. He has a organization here called Good Man's Club. So he invited me to one of the events. So I went. So he was like, "Okay, friend," because everybody's trying to play matchmaker with me now that I've told them that I got my hormones under control and I'm ready to dive in.
Yeah.
So he's trying to play matchmaker. But
you had that shot again 8 times, you ready to dive in?
You know what, dad joke.
It was
So
time.
there was a guy there that he was on me all night. So he walked me to my car and Jack over in the corner like, yes, yeah, he's a good one. He's a good one. He walks me to my car and we get to talking and then I leave. Jack calls, like, how did it go? I said, with who? He said, the guy, because he was talking about you to me all night. I said, he walked me to my car. He said, so y'all didn't exchange numbers? I said, he didn't ask. So Jack went back in, because Jack called me right from the event. He went back in and asked the guy, why you didn't ask her for your number? He said, well, I didn't want to press her the first time that I saw her. So the next time, there is no next time. So I find that the brothers will look all day.
With you.
They will look.
Pressure on her.
And that's, I love you said that. If a man doesn't apply pressure.
Hey, hold on one second. Let me talk to them. I'll be right back. Bruh, you heard what she just said, didn't you? Huh? You heard what she just said. I'm so tired of you being passive because that other relationship done talk that dog up out of you.
Yeah.
Huh? You got to get over there and start practicing in the grocery store. I'm talking about just go up to somebody and say, baby, you beautiful. Like, I ain't seen a beauty like this in a few years. What's your name? My name is. Like, you got to get out there and do what you have to do. See, young men ain't got as much trauma as you, so they like, hey, we out here having a good time. But fellas, you done got talked out of your bite. And women are looking for a man who's actually going to initiate the conversation. And social media done got you fooled, big dog. Like, getting on somebody commenting and having big balls on that is so much different than walking to somebody and looking them right in the eye and telling them exactly what you think of them and what you need and what you want from them. So I want you just to do this. Listen, you heard the woman. She high-end, beautiful woman. She say them young boys coming over there with that bite. So get your bite right. Now back to my regularly scheduled program. April.
Yes, because I do like older men. I typically like a more mature man. But a lot of
They
them,
ain't biting.
they look. They will literally look, and they're always very respectful and all of that. But I like a man that applies pressure. Like, so I have 4 male friends, and guys, they got to understand when you have a quality top tier male friends. You just doing things like the basic stuff, you got to go beyond that, because my circle of the men in my family and the men that I'm around, they do those things. So sometimes a man can think because he opening your doors, he taking you out to eat. I go out to eat to nice places by myself. That fried lobster at Capitol Grill is my favorite.
What do pressure look like for you?
Pressure.
Not that I want to know,
for me,
but inquiring minds want to know.
For
Or maybe
me-
I do want to know.
For me, pressure. You know what's big for me? I'm gonna tell the fellas, and I said this before, and I've said it over the years in social media. A man who is consistent is sexy as hell.
I got that part right.
A man that puts in effort, his patterns line up. His actions and his words all come together. That right there, for me, is applying pressure. Because as women and the ladies that's watching, I'm sure they'll say, you'll get one or two, but you don't get, they drop the ball.
Yeah.
Like they'll say, you know what, I want to take you out. Well, then make plans.
Yeah.
You can't expect a woman who has solid men in her life to give you any type of leeway because this is normal behavior.
Mhm.
You know, when I'm out with whether it's Bobby, Kenny, Jack, and several of my male friends, they're married. They open my car door getting in and out of the car. It's just a part of what I've always had. I got that growing up. So you opening my door, I'm thankful for that. I'm always going to be appreciative. But that don't mean you like me. Like, and I think a lot of times men think that because they're doing things, oh, you call them, oh, you know what? Willie, can you help me with my car? Oh yeah, I'm gonna help you with your car. To me, that don't mean Willie like me. That means Willie help me with my car like any other man I would ask. And a lot of times men think because they do little things for you, that's showing you that they like you. But if all the men in her life does those things, what makes you stand apart? And the only thing for me that lets me know a man likes me is his mouth. He got to tell me.
Oh, he got to tell you.
And you cannot start off trying to be my friend.
Oh, because the friend zone ain't it. You got to put that pressure from the
Child,
beginning.
when I put you in the friend zone, you are in jail for the rest of your life. Unless you make a bold statement and be like, look, I know we've been friends, but this ain't what I want. And then you present yourself in a more sexy, attractive, more of a romantic type of way, it might change.
Yeah.
But typically it don't. It don't when you get put in there if you don't open your mouth. So when I say I don't want a man that start off as my friend, I want a man who shows me he's romantically attracted to me and wants to get to know me, then we become friends. But if you come in trying to be my friend, I'm going to make you a friend. I'm going to start telling you about the other man I just went out with.
No, like so I went out Thursday.
I'm like, oh my God,
so glad I'm your
met
friend,
this dude.
I done heard about 3-4 dates. I'm just like, well, I'm praying for you.
I'd be like, listen, I met this new guy and he getting his feelings. Why are you mad? How you going out with somebody else? Why would I not? If you do not open your mouth, I am not a mind reader. You have to verbally tell me, hey, listen, I want to get to know you, and this is what I want to do. And then from there, we start building a friendship. If the feeling is mutual, then we go and take it a step further. But if it's not, we're going to respectfully just stay what we are. And that's okay too. Mm-hmm. So I just believe that men, I can't speak for all women. You got to apply pressure. If you don't apply pressure, I don't know nothing. Pressure. If you don't open your mouth, I don't know anything.
Pressure.
And mature women like the pressure. Now, a lot of y'all.
So why y'all like? Well, so y'all just like to play like you don't like the pressure. Like he just
No. Mature women don't. We like a man that knows exactly what he wants, and that is us.
Let me be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you another reason why I got on the men, but let me get on the women too. Okay. We live in Atlanta. These women applying just as much pressure as men doing.
And I know that, but that's not what I'm talking. Those aren't. There's different levels of woman. That's a whole different demographic. When you start dealing with a grown, mature woman who
she ain't applying no pressure.
No, we reciprocate.
They don't initiate.
No.
Are you sure?
My initiation could be what I call my 4-second stare. If you don't catch it, then you just didn't catch it. But I'm not going to go over and, hey, so what's your name? What's your sign? Like, I'm not doing that. We're not doing that.
Hey, okay, you right. Because my friend Rod, he was with me. He was like, you ain't catch that? I was like, no, I was married for a long time, bro. I'm not.
Y'all don't catch it. Y'all don't catch it a lot of times.
And then the girl, she was on stage. It was one of the, kind of a famous singer or whatever. And she was like, Willie Moore. I looked back at Rod. Rod was like, oh my!
Like y'all be missing the passes, man.
Everything.
Like
no, it's just
you
my
be missing
friend. That boy was like, nigga, she trying to give you something that you ain't gonna never.
That's our way of dropping the handkerchief. So I don't believe in approaching a man. Now I've been in situations where a man would keep walking by and he keep looking, and Willie, I'm a playful one. And my hairstylist yesterday, she was like, "Girl, you be playing and it don't mean nothing. You be getting people all riled up and don't mean nothing." But he kept walking by, and so he walked by, and I just said, I know you want to say hi because you keep coming over here. He said, huh? He said, how you know I was watching you? I said, because I watched you watch me. And how you doing? And he just started blushing. I'm like, it ain't that hard I didn't want nothing, but I just wanted to play.
You had to play.
I had to play. It's in me. I'm a flirt. I'm not gonna even lie. And it doesn't mean anything.
Jelly was a flirt too.
I know he was, but I ain't gonna get locked up about it though.
Praise the Lord. As long as we don't have to come visit you, we all right.
Put money on my books.
I ain't
gonna go that young. We ain't gonna have to worry about that.
So is there an age limit?
I'm trying to be in this season a little bit more open-minded. That's one of the things that I love
That's
about
one of these
maturity.
young boys got your little mind doing. Because when I said little one, your eyes kind of twinkled a little bit.
No.
I felt a twinkle in my spirit. What's his name?
What's her name?
This nigga. Don't you know I get paid for this? I'm a deflect.
No, bro. Wait, hold on. What's
I'm
her
deflecting.
name? Are you the deflector? What's her name?
Listen. This ain't about me. It's your interview. All the people on the other side, they say I share
Y'all
too
see
much.
how you did that?
Yeah. You know, I'm attempting to learn from my audience. My audience tells me, hey, Will, let them be the star of the show. So I'm letting you be the
I know
star
you're
of the
right.
show. Right? No worries. Listen, I'm going to be obedient to what God says in my audience.
God ain't had nothing to do with this. Don't bring God in this.
Won't we always put God in there? Well, the good Lord is.
And the wheel and the
He ain't had nothing to do
and the fleck hard as hell too. But anyway.
No, here's the thing though. Here's the thing. Now that you are at this beautiful age of 50 and looking amazing, you've discovered so much about yourself. Do you think that this is the second coming of April to be able to insert information that the audience at large is just not hearing? I've never heard any of this. Is there some more information in your bag that you're willing to present to an audience now? Because it was about identity and femininity and all this. Now it's like, baby, there's some stuff going on with us that we don't even know what's going on.
I don't know if I want to. My message is going to always start with identity, because whether it's relationship, whether it's money, whether it's the man, whether it's it's my core message is identity, and it just has a bunch of tentacles that go with it. But I don't know if I'd want to. I'm in my creative side right now. Like, I have enough content out there that will last beyond the ends of time. And right now I'm in my play energy. My doctor literally, once we figured out what was going on with me with this hormonal thing, she gave me a prescription. And I actually gave the prescription to my ladies on my social media yesterday. She gave me a fun, passion, pleasure, sexy, and excitement prescription. So I'm not really trying.
Is it like weed?
Maybe an edible. No, I'm just joking.
Weed,
no, she's when we looked at all of my tests, because I go to a functional medicine doctor here in Atlanta. We looked at all of my tests, and one of the things that we realized was my dopamine was non-existent. I was doing the work. I was being what you said, teaching and trying to help others, but I wasn't having no real excitement in my life. So for me, it's all about the fun and the excitement. I've done the hustle, the grind. And when I turned 50, I realized I've been working since I was 15 for 35 years. I'm all about fun and passion and pleasure and doing passion projects. One of the things that I did that I love is I would do my spoken word pieces and I would do music videos for them. I want to get back to that. Now love is going to always be wrapped around whatever I do, because I'm just a lover girl at heart. Yeah. But I don't want to just be out here just be teaching, always looking to help somebody. I want to help myself.
That is so admirable.
Yeah, I want to help myself.
You're like, no, I'm helping me right now.
Yeah, it's about me. It's about fun. That's why the man has to be somebody that likes to have fun, and real spontaneity is big for me. Adventure. Let's just get up. We ain't got no plans. Let's just get up and go do something.
Yeah, you gonna need you definitely want to go a little younger. 35.
No, I can't. The 35s, they come
45. Or you want to go 28?
No, that's the 35. I've gone out with a 35-year-old before.
Yeah, about 37 is when I kind of mentally became like, all right, I'm a man.
I don't know. I got a 38-year-old right now trying to come take me out now that I'm in town. It's just when I look at him online, it's just like, he's handsome, but I like that Billy D. Williams type, that Sean Connery kind of that Diddy, that Zeddy stage. I kind of like that. Unless he's younger and he has an old soul.
Old soul. No, I understand.
And his posture is not like my 27-year-old son.
You're like, man, you remind me of my 27.
Do you play Madden? The only game I can play is Mortal Kombat. I have never had a man beat me at Mortal Kombat yet.
It's diabolical.
Do you play NBA?
Do you NBA 2K?
Yeah, do
Live
you
or
do that?
something?
Yeah, I gotta ask.
All right, so I don't want to go deep towards the end, but I do have to ask you this because
Yes.
it's been kind of sitting in my shana now for a minute.
Uh-huh.
You talk about the little boy and men.
Yes.
You talk about the little girls.
Mhm.
And I've noticed that in your conversation, you've made room for your little girl.
Yes.
Are there parts of the little girl that you're able to share with your partner? Or is that something a man is supposed to subconsciously discover?
I believe that when you know what that little girl is, you can share her. So for me,
How does she feel safe enough to share?
So for me, and I learned this several years back about why I like the type of men that I like. So my grandfather was my hero. He was a big, like 6'3" burly guy, very fit, but he had this masculine demeanor. But I remember I was a little girl and we were going to get the Christmas tree. And I said, can we stop and get some donuts? I had to be about 6. He was like, yeah, we can get some donuts. My grandmother said no, my grandfather said yes. So we get the Christmas tree. We would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go to the co-op downtown Berkeley and get the Christmas tree. He says, well, when we get in the house, put the donuts on the stove and you can have them when we're done. I put them on the stove, but I was little. I came back to check them, and it was ants all over the stove. I ran in the living room. I was crying. I was screaming, oh, the donuts. And that big burly man that the world knew as Moses Mason sat me on his lap, and he got very tender with me. And he said, what's wrong with Big Daddy's little girl? The ants, they got the donuts. And he was like, you know what? Calm down. We're going to go get some more donuts when we finish with the tree. That's my guy, because the world saw him as being that masculine man, and that's what he has to be to the world. But he had enough tenderness for me. That right there, yeah, I'm a sucker for stuff like that.
So that little girl requires tenderness.
Absolutely. She requires tenderness, and regardless of what people think, I am very sensitive.
Yeah, very much so. I don't think anybody thinks any different.
Yeah, I am very sensitive, and I can be a brat. So I'm aware of my things, and like I said, I'll ask you: is it a hard no? Is it a soft no? Is there anything I could do to get a yes? Mm-hmm. And so I know those things about me, but I also know that I'm what's considered a lover girl, meaning when I'm being treated properly, all of that creativity. Like for instance, my last relationship, we were actually having some disagreements and things weren't going the way it needed to go. But Valentine's Day came around and he came home and I decorate the house for Valentine's Day the way I do for Christmas. So he didn't know what was going to happen. I know it's Valentine's Day. I guess I got to take her to dinner, but we ain't going to talk. And it was a lot of tension in the house. But when he came home, it was hearts and things all over the house. And it was like 50 balloons on the ceiling. And him being who he was, I mentioned that I wanted to go to see Mint Condition. Those tickets had come out and sold out months ahead of time. He said, okay, well, go get dressed. I said, where are we going? He said, you said you wanted to go to the concert. So he had bought the tickets months in advance. But at dinner, he said, I didn't know what we were going to do because I know we were having some issues. Well, me being what I am doesn't stop because you, my man, and we having issues. I don't withhold because we're having issues. Now, I still got to have a little attitude because we still got to fix it. But
I still got to have a little attitude because we still got to fix it.
We got to fix it.
That's
but
so
the
sweet.
little girl in me is still the one that is festive and decorates the house and love the whole love thing, the whole 9. Yeah. So I'm doing that not just for you. That's a part of my little girl too. So you get to experience the gift that I gave myself. Yeah. But we still got to talk at dinner.
But we still got to talk at dinner.
We still have to talk at dinner.
We got plenty clients, but we can use some more, huh? Do you have a business that you feel like aligns with this show? It's family entertainment. It's for people who've been through hurts, habits, hangups, and breakups in their journey to loving themselves more. Here's the thing. Does your organization or your business need a audience? Beep, beep. Cut here. Does your business or organization need an audience that's extremely engaged and enthused? Well, this might be the place for you, but we are very selective on who we partner with. The Bible says, how can 2 people walk together unless they agree? Another version says, how can 2 people walk together unless they agree on the direction in which they're going? If there's some agreement, there may be an opportunity for you to advertise right here. Go ahead and click the little link in this YouTube description or just hit this email. Yeah, right there. Okay, back to the show. April, listen, it is refreshing to hear a woman so in tune with herself. And it is really refreshing, kind of stepping out of my profession, but just as a friend to see, I think I've known you now in more of an intimate space for the last 5 years, I think 2020, 21. And like one of the first things that I remember about you is, we're at the pinnacle of the things, 2022 now, and, and you doing your thing. And I just moved to McDonough. I was going through divorce. You would always give like some really, really good advice. Some of the stuff I definitely didn't want to hear. Didn't want to hear you at all. It's like, that won't work. And I just want to tell you that. And I just be like, the devil's a liar.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get it out the way. But I just always appreciate your kindness. And to see you be in McDonough, have this office, and like, oh no, I'm gonna shut it down. I'm like, you gonna go on the road? You gonna do something? It's like, no, I'm not. I'm making room, like for my man, for my future, and then to see you leave the scene, now discover that you went to went to Ohio to build a family home and legacy, so your family will have refuge. It speaks to the unselfishness, like what you've done with your trauma. Like people don't know you were homeless. People don't know what you've been through. Like people don't know where your heart is because they just see a beautiful face. And I do appreciate you allowing me to know a lot of the things that have happened, feeling safe enough to share those things. And I think I just became an even bigger fan as I move into, my later 40s, moving into my 50s. I'm like, I can love me more, even more.
Yes.
Cause you was like, no, I love me. Like, I'm finna go do some spoken word. Like I got some other gifts in here that I want to use. But I will tell you this, it's one thing to have gifts and then there's another thing to have calling. You've heard for years and years, even when you was a kid, the calling that's on your life.
Yeah.
I think, God is still going to use you on mics across the world because this information most people are afraid to share.
Well, you know what it is, Willie? I'm at a place where I can pick and choose. Like before, we just do things because this is the calling. But the calling can be segmented in different ways. So before it was I'm on stages, I'm doing TV, I'm doing radio, I'm just out here on doing the thing. And now it's, you know what? How does my body feel? I check in with her first. Do you want to do this?
Let me check in with her
I said,
first.
do you want to do this? How are you feeling? And I see how I feel before I give a yes. And at this stage, I have no problem with saying no matter how much money is on the line. Because if I'm not here, there is no April Mason to come on the show. There is no April Mason to do any of these things. So I don't have that hustle grind mentality of, oh my God, all of these opportunities. I have a plethora of opportunities, but I believe they come to me, and I believe the type of clients that I get, because majority of the people that I work with are some of your favorite celebrities, athletes, and everybody else. And I think that happens because they see that I don't care about those other. I want to see you. Let's talk. Don't give me the guy on the stage. Don't give me her. Let me see you. And I only can get to that place because I see myself.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with saying, I don't want to go out tonight, or I do want to go out tonight. How you feeling?
Let me check in with
Let me
my
check
body
in
and
me
make sure.
first.
Hey, do I want to do that?
Yeah.
Me don't want to do it.
Me don't want to do it. And I have no problem with saying that. So I do know my message is always going to be surrounded with the whole love thing because I am that girl. However, how I do it, it may come in a completely different form because I want to get back to the things that I do, the things that make me happy and make me thrive. But you're going to get some, I can't help but get some nuggets. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm not climbing. Somebody asked me the other day, what keeps you motivated? I said, I don't live in a perpetual state of motivation. I don't have to always be doing something. I can literally just be and be okay with that and healing my nervous system. Because when your nervous system isn't healed, when you start trying to just be, your nervous system's like, you got to be doing something. You got to be doing something. I don't feel like I have to be doing something. Like I can literally go home and not do nothing for 3 days and don't feel bad about it. And I'm okay.
Hey family, listen. Let me just come here. Let me talk to you a little bit. Shaquan, while you editing this, you'll pull that camera in. Come about right here. Yep, there you go. That's good. I know there were some things that you heard that you were excited about, and there were some things that you had a question mark about. You heard us talk about the little boy and the little girl on the inside of us. And many of you all are probably thinking to yourself, if you haven't done, the internal work and the extensive reading and just taking a deep dive in who you are, that may seem a little confusing. What they keep talking about, that's just an excuse that some people use. There are some situations that you've been through as a child that continue to plague your future. Sometimes even our motivations come from that small child who may have been looked over. Traditionally, I always tell you I was adopted, and so I had this mindset of, man, they got to know who I am. And the truth is, as I took a deep dive, that 12-year-old just wanted to show his biological mother what she missed out on. And so success never felt really good to me because I was always chasing the next carrot. That's just full transparency. But now I live in a place where that little boy, when he decides to come up, I know how to work with him. I know how to nurture him. I know how to love him. And so what I'm challenging you to do, I would prefer you get some therapy and read some books or what have you. But because I know that you know God, or at least are seeking the truths of Jesus Christ, is there a way to get off of our spiritual high horse and just say, God, what are the little boy and the little girl parts of me that I've yet to discover? And when he shows you, maybe there's a reason besides premenopause that may need fixing. Because sometimes that brokenness just continues to carry on, and we're bleeding on people who haven't cut us. And so I know it's a little challenging today. Of course, I made a lot of jokes and made it really entertaining, but that little boy and that little girl on the inside of you actually needs a voice. And he or she needs healing. She needs to be understood, and it takes some time to do it. Because I'll be honest with you, this Love You More show came at a time when I was going through divorce. And when I look back now, I realize that I could take care of the little girl in her as long as that little girl wouldn't disrespect the little boy in me. And the moment that little boy and that little girl became ferocious with each other, somebody had to leave. And then I started to heal that little boy. And I started to notice the little girl. But then the little girl started to disrespect the man that I was becoming. And that's when the man had to make a strong decision. Hopefully you heal the little girl or the little boy, so strong decisions don't have to be made. And maybe you guys can stick together. Do me a favor. Heal the little boy. Try to heal that little girl. And don't forget to love yourself more. Flat out.
Love you more, love you more.